Welcome back. In the last video, we talked about forms, specifically the contact us form, where we allowed users send in information from the front end, and we stored those information in our database using our forms. But in that video, we use our custom HTML form. In this video, we're going to be using Django forms, that is Django HTML forms. Since Django has created the HTML form for us, we won't be using our HTML tags to create this form now. We'll be creating our form using Python keywords like the classes. We can use the variables. We can create fields also. We can pass in their arguments and all and all. So we're just going to go straight into the advantages of using Django forms. One is that it allows you quickly generate HTML form widgets. I just mentioned that. It allows you validate data and process it into a Python data structure. And also it allows you create form versions of your models and helps you quickly update models from the forms. So we're going to work with another form on our template, which is the booking form, which we have here. So we have this, we want to be able to allow user put in their name to book for a particular room, right? Pass in their name, their email, the time, whatever. Then we also store that in our database. Now for us to have this page working on our browser, we just a little recap. The first thing you have to do is to create a view for that particular page, then a URL to store that page, and also to be able to view it on your browser, and also the template actually. And we carried out a little bit of template inheritance. Yeah, the template inheritance. Yeah, so if you do that, you can easily have this template on your browser. So now what I want to do is, let's just imagine we're building this from scratch, and the amount of time it will take us to build this whole thing. So we can see this is one, this is another, this is another, this is another, and this is another. These are the, I'm just looking at the different inputs in our this thing here. So I would, let me just clear that out. I will just comment that and save. So we'd see it the way it is. From what you can see here, there is no form. Now, if we're to build this from scratch, it will take time. It will take more time than using our Django forms. So let's go straight into the Django forms. The first thing you will do is to create in your app, create a file called forms.py. And in this, we're going to import forms from Django. So we'll say from Django import. And now we can start creating our form. So we're going to be creating a form on a class basis. They are based on classes, right? So we're going to create a bookings form. I'm going to say booking form. I was going to be inheriting from where forms dot form. So we're going to be creating a basic form right now. So we're going to pass a name, right? That's one thing I said there. So name is equals to forms dot char field, the max length of 5. What else? It has different. Let's look at it real quick. We have different argument that can be passed in there. We can read through this. We can see that by default, it's your forms field are always required by default. But if you don't want it to be required, you can say required is equals to false. You can pass in widgets, also disabled, just like your normal HTML attributes. You understand? So we're going to just do that, and we're going to just leave it at that. I'm going to just create another one. Again, I'm going to say email is equals to forms dot email field, and I'm also going to leave it like that. Now, if I want to view this form on my browser, I would go to my view, and I will have to say, I'll have to call that particular form I just created. But the first thing I have to do is to import that, because I don't have it on this page, right? I'm getting that particular form from another page, from that class I created, from another file, from another module. So I'm going to say from dot forms import booking. Hope I'm on the right path. Yes. Yes. Import, this is what I'm going to import. Booking from yes, import booking from. Now that I've imported it, I can be able to view it, because I want to view it on bookings page. I'll be putting it on bookings view. So I'm going to be saying bookings is equals to, I will just call the name of that form, the class. I'll call the class name, and I'm also going to pass it into the dictionary. I'm going to give it a class of booking, and the key is going to be booking, sorry, and I'm going to pass the value as what, the name of the variable holding that class, bookings. So I can then display this on my bookings page. So I'll go here. So this is commented, so we can't see it, right? But for me to be able to see it, I just need to call double braces. I want to display, right, and call the key of my dictionary. Okay, I'm going to save that. When I go back here, I can see my form, no stress. But we can see that it's looking a little bit ugly. For you to do that, you can put in your widget in your forms. So I'm going to pass in a widget, and I'm going to say a class, sorry, no, a widget of forms dot text input. There are other widgets for different data types. We have for your choices, we have for your images, for your files, and so on. This for text input, I'm going to pass in attributes of class, and I'm going to pass in form control. This is an attribute, just like your HTML attributes that you have. So if I reload this page, I'll be able to see that it is more styled and looks better. So I'm just going to do the same thing for my email, and I can see this. You can see that it looks better now. Another attribute I can pass as your HTML, you also have your placeholders, right? You can also pass that there, and you have what you want to get. But I'm not going to continue this way for every one of it, every part of it, because it will take more time. It will take more time in the sense that I would have to do for all the, you saw what was there before. I will have to create for name, email, check-in, check-out, blah, 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 blah. Then, I'm going to store it. Sometimes I have to go back to my models and create that same thing again. That is why Django Forms is very, 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 very useful, because now I can create form versions of my models. So what am I talking about? Instead of doing this way to create for every one of it, I will just go to my models, and I will create a model. I have created one, a model for my bookings. Now this model is going to, the fields are going to be the name, the email, normally as we know, the check-in time, the checkout time, how many adults we expect, the children, are there going to be any children expected? So I'm going to pass in blank equals true, no equals true, because not everybody needs, you know, not everybody will be bringing the children to the hotel. Then also we can see line 38. There is a foreign key, a relationship here. That is, every booking is going to, we are going to be booking a room. So instead of us creating, trying to create the whole rooms fields into here again, or saying the user inputs the doesn't, we're not going to put a relationship connecting rooms to our bookings. That is, the relationship is every booking we have a room. Do you understand? So we also have message, that is any request that the user wants. That's why we made it nullable, like can be nullable, because the user might not want to pass any, the person just wants to book and okay. But if you have any special request, there we also put the created and the updated time, and we also pass in this method to return the name in our Django admin dashboard. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to, same thing, make migrations and migrate. I don't think I've done that yet. So I'm going to say Python manage.py make migration. I can call name of the app, or I can just do this. So sorry, there's a spelling error with Python, and I'm going to be making migrations. Then I can also do what I can migrate, and that works perfectly. I can go back to run my server, and that works perfectly well. Now, instead of me going through this stress of having to create everything that I have here again, what I will just do is I'm gonna clear this out, and I'm going to say from create booking form, not inheriting from forms.form now, but I'm going to be inheriting from forms.model form. So now what I'm just going to do is just to call the name of the model. So I'm going to be using a meta class. I'm going to be calling the name of the model I am working with. So I'm going to say model equals to okay. I think that's what we call it. And for us to be able to view it here, I'm going to do what's important. I'm going to say from from dot models import booking. So now I have that, and I'm going to be selecting the fields I want to be able to view on that particular form. So here I want to view all the fields as equals to, if I want to view all the fields, I can put a tuple or a list and call each of the fields I need to. I can say, oh, name, email, column. But since I'm going to be using all the fields, to go through this is going to be unnecessary. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use underscore all underscore, and to display all the fields. So if I go back here and I reload the page, and I'm going to be seeing all the fields. You see how fast it was, how easy and fast it was for me to create my forms very quickly. Now, because it still looks ugly, we're going to be calling the class, our form control class in here, putting also the widgets, passing attributes, and so on. So what I'm going to do is just go through that real quick. So what I just did was to quickly create that. Now I can see my widget. I had to do a widget, which is a dictionary, yeah, and the key is the name of your models. So you can see all the name of our fields here in our models, and I passed that here, and the widget, the text for the text inputs, for the date time, for the numbers, for the select, and so on. So I'm going to go back to in here, and I'm going to refresh the page, and you can see this looks better. This looks better, and now we can input the names and everything, and we can be able to view it in our, when the user puts in their details, we're able to see it on our database. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do that real quick. You just go to your views, and we can just the same, just what we're going to do now is to pass in to check if the user passed in anything into the form, and if the user submits it, we're going to send that to our database and store it there. We'll be doing this in the next video. Can't wait to see you. Stay tuned. Bye bye.